catfish much up here, but we definitely catch a few. My girlfriend, they got a little lake house out there, and so we'll catch some catfish down south, but I haven't got much into that up here yet.
How much more comfortable do you feel in this offense now compared to when we got to talk to you back in the spring?
Definitely a lot more comfortable. The game's starting to slow down, or the game has been slowed down, but definitely just not thinking crazy stuff. And Coach Hamlin's done a great job of simplifying that for us, making sure that, hey, maybe there's one or two trigger words that you're looking for on this play. If this happens, this is your answer, or get your eyes to the D gap, stuff like that. So he's definitely worked with us on just simplifying the offense, which is great. Whenever it's simplified, you're able to play faster. And that's something we're really stressing right now is just getting plays off in a short amount of time.
How easy is it to work with this headset stuff going on? I mean, has that been an easy transition, or you've been so used to looking at cards?
Yeah. No, I love the coach comm. Basically, all of our skill guys are still looking at the sideline for signals and stuff. So, but I don't. I get it. I tell the O-line the thing, and then obviously Coach Hamlin will tell me that one or two word reminder for that certain play, and basically I'm ready to go. So I really enjoyed it. It just basically just eliminates a step, a pre-snap step, which is always important, to simplify everything, like I said.
How much do you and Pop maybe talk about how crazy it is that you guys used to be on the same team at Georgia and probably going up in practice sometimes, and now you're doing the same thing here?
Oh yeah. We've definitely talked about it a lot. He actually got pretty close to a ball yesterday.
That you threw or someone else?
I threw it in there, and Dane made a great play on it. He was like, man, you hadn't thrown me a pick since freshman year, but oh my gosh, my freshman year, it was the first week or two, I probably threw 5 picks to him. I was like, dude, this dude is freaking everywhere. So he was like, well, what happened to the old days, man? I said, man, hopefully I've gotten better from the old days, but he's like, man, you don't even like me anymore. You ain't even throwing me any more balls. I said, oh man, that ain't part of it.
How much better has he gotten? Do you feel like since the Georgia days, that early time?
Yeah, Pop, he's definitely come along. He always came in as a real mature guy, really guy that you would love having in the locker room. So he's a great addition to the locker room, great addition to the team, the defense as a whole. He's just a really smart football player. He's going to be in the right place at the right time. He sees stuff really fast up front, which allows him to play fast and just be in the right place. And there's not too many tackles that he doesn't miss. If he's got you one-on-one, he's probably going to bring you to the ground.
Just since I asked him, and I thought it was kind of interesting, he mentioned that he has, at least in his room, a little Georgia part where it's got maybe a jersey. He also got the rings. Do you have a similar thing, or did you leave all of that back in Georgia?
I left all my stuff in Georgia, but that's no spite at all.
No,
I don't even have any decorations in my house. It happened fast. Literally got a mirror in my bathroom, nothing else on the walls. It's pretty boring. My girlfriend doesn't like it. My parents don't like it. But I'm not even here most of the time. I'm sitting up here watching film or doing practice.
Yeah, I just didn't know if any teammates had asked about seeing any of the rings at all.
Oh, no one's really asked. No, hopefully they'll be able to see their own this year.
Well,
yes, sir.
Can you just talk about Bush Hamden's offense? What have you seen from it so far, and what's kind of stood out about it?
Definitely the main thing that we've obviously talked about today and stuff is the tempo. That's just the main thing that comes to mind. Just speed of it. Definitely during practice, there's a couple of times whenever we have a certain amount of time to get off a certain amount of plays, and if that's not right, then we obviously have to do more plays and stuff like that. So he's really intense on the field, and that's something that I like, and I think the players have really liked as well. Making sure that he lets us know the standard and lets us know that we need to uphold the standard, and making sure that we're all on the same page.
There's a lot of depth on this team, offensive line, receiver, running back. Just talk about the depth that this team has and the ability that this team has to be great.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of guys that would be able to make plays for us on the perimeter. Everybody brings a little something different to the table, which is great to see at the quarterback position. Being able to know that those guys they're going to go get the ball. They've done a great job blocking when the ball's not in their hands. Our O-line's deep. They're building that chemistry. That chemistry's looking good, and obviously the backfield we got Chip and Damien that have had a great summer and fall. So we're looking forward to this season.
Question.
So obviously, still got fall camp to go, but just how does it feel that you're going to be able to step on this field and play college football and the live action start your first game?
Oh yeah, definitely. Really looking forward to that. Something I try not to think too much of. Always just thinking about the next thing. So obviously basically all my football brain power is dedicated for today's practice, and looking forward to preparing for that. And when the time comes, we'll be ready.
Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Georgia's, the Ole Misses right now, the South Carolinas. As long as we work week by week, not get ahead of ourselves, not get on the all-time high, then that's going to help us no matter what. That's going to keep us grounded. That's going to keep us playing together and not worrying about the big week. Oh, we're playing Georgia, I need to make a big play, you know? So I feel like that's how it's going to help.
You guys have a pretty deep, experienced room on both offense and defense. What do you like about the depth of this team?
I like it a lot, you know, and I really just like how, especially on the defensive line, you can plug people in and we can play anywhere. You know, I can play the field. Octavius can play the boundary. You can play the nose. Khalil can come play the nose. They can even go play the jack and drop back, you know. So we got a lot of depth, you know, we got with our corners. Maxwell can play the boundary corner, can go over to the field. He knows both positions. Zion Childress knows nickel, free safety, strong safety, and even some of the boundary corner. You know, we just learning. We just trying to show different looks for different people or for different teams when different people are at different positions.
You've done a bunch of interviews today. You talked to dozens, maybe hundreds of people in Dallas, which I think you probably enjoyed, but now you can just work on your game. You feel, is it almost a relief to do that?
I mean, yeah, you know.
You like talking, I know, but
Yeah, I like talking, but, you know, I want to get squared away on the season. Of course.
What's your leadership like for this defensive line, especially with guys like, as you saw, I was talking to the Smith twins. What's your leadership defensively, especially at that line?
You know, just being more outspoken, make sure people are where they need to be. Whenever I can nitpick a little bit, when we're on the field, I will. You know, they respect me enough to know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to put them in a bad position. And that even goes from Coach Stewart trusting me, knowing that he coached me right and he taught me right. So, you know, it's big more so of a respect thing and of they know that I'm never going to put them in a bad position.
You talk about the group being interchangeable, being able to play pretty much anywhere. What's maybe what do you strive at the most? Where do you like to be on that line?
Man, I'm not a one-trick pony. I can play everywhere. You feel me? I can play boundary from wide 9 to nose. You know, I don't really care. I can even drop back, as we seen that in Florida games. But I don't really care. I'm gonna play wherever they need me to play.
You looking to drop back a little bit more this year? I know last year you said you're all for it. So.
Man, I'm begging Coach White for one more rip. Yeah, it did. We got a pick. Hey. Yes, sir.
Can you just talk? I know you probably talked about it a lot, but just your leadership going into this year. Just what's that been like? You're one of the most experienced guys on this team. So just what has that been like being able to be the leader of this team?
It's been good. You know, everybody or a lot of people or all of my teammates, you know, respect me, respect what I have to say. You know that I'm not going to steer them the wrong way. Know that everything that I say, I'm saying to them respectfully and for their greater good, you know, for the greater good of the team and for them, you know. So I feel like it's a great feeling to have for knowing that every one of my teammates respect me and wants to know what I have to say.
Obviously, the Big Blue Wall is something Kentucky's always been known for. It's kind of taken a little bit of a decline the past couple of years, but this year, looking to get it back. What have you seen from them?
We got a bunch of guys, you know, a bunch of guys that want to play together. You know, Eli Cox, Jagger Bird, and Marcus Cox. Eli and Jagger been playing together for 3 years, the same as me, Ox, and Khalil, and Trey, and all of them. So I feel like they're a brotherhood over there. You know, they're focusing on more of a brotherhood. Like if Eli don't make a call or if Jagger sees something, he can tell Eli, and Eli trusts that he made the right call. So I feel like the Big Blue Wall is going to be good this year.
I have to ask about the Smith twins. What have you like seen from them, especially Jacob, you know, Gerard at the front line?
You know, they've both shown flashes. You know, Jacob hurt his shoulder a little bit, but Gerard has showed flashes. You know, he's in there to get extra work with Coach Stu, and I like that. He has a head down mentality. You know, he's just gonna put his head down and work, and I really like that about him. But he's going to be a great player for sure.
Deion, two things. One, you're totally healthy now after all the off-season stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the second thing, did you keep a list like of all the schools that told you, well, you can't play defense in college, you need to play offense? You still have a little list, you still have a little memory of those schools and what they told you then?
Yeah, I got a memory of them, not a real list. I got a mental list right there, man.
Yeah. So do you ever think back about that? Like, hey, what would you guys think now about old Deion and all?
Man, not really. I mean, people say what they want to say. It's all about what you're going to do if you're going to make them right or wrong, you know? So, yeah, that was my mentality coming into college. So, I feel like I've made them wrong.
So what was there about you and I guess Vince that both knew, okay, those other guys are wrong. He could play defense and know to play, but could be great. What was there about you that knew that?
It was just a bunch of, you know, Coach Merrill, he said, you come up here, you can play what you want to play. You know, he just wanted me, you know, so I feel like if I came here and decided that I don't really like D-line, I could have went to O-line and he would have felt the same way about me, you know.
So do you think Coach Stu was all in on defense with you when you got here, or you think he was kind of, well, let's wait and see what he shows me?
Yes, sir. He's been, he was, like, during my recruiting, he was fighting against Coach Wolf trying to get me here, man.
Okay.
Trying to decide whether if I was going to go O-line or D-line. He like, no, Wolf, he mine. So I feel like, you feel me? Yeah, he has. He's been fighting.
Some new guys, so now we're really gaining that, putting that full effect.
Yeah, and Brad was talking about how, you know, the pass rush, it's all connected, the entire defense. So you guys are doing your job on plays, being sticky, but if they don't get pass rush, you guys can't do it for more than, 5, 6 seconds, whatever the case may be. So how do you interpret that of you guys all working together as one unit there in terms of pass rush and, you guys doing your job in coverage?
Because like you say, it's really one job. If the D line is getting in the quarterback's face, gonna force him to throw some BS for real, help the secondary, and vice versa. If we covering the receivers for only so long, the quarterback gonna have so much time in the pocket. So we work for each other for real. We service each other. And, we take pride in that. So I feel like come August 31st, like when we get a pick or when they get a sack, like we're gonna be so happy, man, because we work for this.
Maxwell, you got the cast off, ready to go for the season. You just talk about being free, just being able to take your game to the next level.
I'm extremely happy not to play in that cast because one, I hated that cast. I was so ready to take it off, but I had to get right first. I had to recover, whatever. But this year, I feel like 10 hands is in full effect, so I'm excited to show that.
Last year, first year as a starter. This year, you taking on a little bit more of a leadership role. I know there's a lot of leaders on this defense, but in that secondary, you have Zion and really 4 safeties back there. But are you taking more of a little bit of a role out there on the field?
Yeah, the corners, we have a larger group than usual, and it's mostly young because I'm the old head in the group, and I'm a junior, so I just feel like everybody committed. The younger guys just wanting to be great. That really helps because they want to learn, and I just feel like that's already a step in the right direction, being a younger guy, because when I was a younger guy, I also want to learn from the older guys because, they've been there before us, they have experience, so I feel like they're really buying into that process and, it's making their progression go even faster.
You can always get better. You got the cast off. That's
sure.
one thing. But
For sure.
What were you focusing on the off season here as camp is starting to get better, to be better on the field this year?
Well, I've been coming from here to Atlanta over the whole summer, just trying to train with, a specific trainer down there to just work on poise and patience and just becoming a technician, not really relying on my speed and my athleticism, but just being able to dial in and focus in on what receivers like to do, their tendencies and stuff like that, while also staying, keeping composure, not being nervous by something I see from a receiver. So just stuff like that, more fine-tuning I've been working on this offseason, and, I'm ready to put that all on display.
You talk about that. There's a bunch of talented receivers on the other side of the ball. Just how have they helped you with your progression over the last couple of years?
They help so much. I literally feel like I get better at guarding every receiver that we have. And, I really appreciate that because I tell them, we trying to get each other better. This is practice, so come at me hard, I'm going to come at you hard. So I feel like we've really taken initiative on getting each other better, on helping each other because, man, them boys in the receiver room, they right, man. So I feel like I've been getting the right training and everything every day in practice. So
what's it like trying to cover Barryon out there?
He's so fast and so crafty. It's frustrating sometimes because bro, how you catch that? But Barryon, I love going against him, man. We really iron sharpens iron is like our thing. You know, we want to get each other better. We want to find each other's weaknesses and exploit that. So when game time comes, we don't got no weaknesses. So me and Barion we work together. And like I said, I get better every time I go against him.
It's obviously a tough schedule out there, but it gives you a lot of opportunities. And I mean, there's obviously a little bit of room for error. Just talk about this upcoming schedule and being able to maybe the expansion playoff, all that stuff.
You know, I really love our schedule this year. I feel like it gives us a chance to shock some people. You know, people probably down us a little bit, which is fine. We love all that because come game time, we're going to show y'all. And I feel like we got the schedule to do that.
To be the best, you got to beat the best.
You heard me, man. That's true. Hey.
I'm ready whenever you guys are.
Eli, you're going to be one of the leaders of this team. Can you just talk about what you've seen from everybody in practice so far? I know it's only been a couple of days, but...
Yeah, it's been exciting, you know, working the new offense, have a lot of key guys coming back. Got a lot of experience, especially on the O-line, so just you can't really replace that. Having that's invaluable, so just having a lot of guys back that know what they're doing. We have an experienced group, and we have a lot of leadership on the team, so very excited.
Marcus talked about at SEC Media Days how really getting the big blue ball back to, you know, what it used to be. Can you kind of just elaborate that a little bit as you get ready for the season?
Yeah, I think it just goes back to honoring the legacy Coach Larman laid the foundation for this group and playing a style of football he would be proud of. And I think it just goes to relentless communication, being physical in a nasty group.
So there's been a lot of talk about kind of upping the pace of the offense. What have you kind of seen from that? And are you kind of ready for that more fast-paced offense?
Yeah, I think it's exciting. Though there's so many playmakers on this offense and a lot of guys who want to get the ball to. So the more we can snap the ball, the more plays are to go around all the different playmakers that we have. So I think it's going to be beneficial to get the ball in space, get the ball moving, and just like I say, you have so many playmakers, so many guys you want to see touch the ball so many times during a game, and the only way to do that is to snap it more often.
How's it been with Coach Wolford?
It's been great. You know, having worked with him in 2021 and then him being back, I think there's a certain demeanor that he has and the attention to detail. You know, no stone will go unturned trying to figure out what we can do to be the best offensive line we can. He demands a lot out of guys, but, you know, you'll get a lot out of yourself, and it'll be a really prepared group.
You've gone through your fair share of quarterbacks, Brock under center now. Can you just talk about maybe your chemistry that you've built with him so far?
Yeah, he's a good dude. Been golfing a few times with him. He's just a good Southern guy. I think he fits into this team really well. I think he's a great guy. I think he's very talented. He's got a strong arm. He's mobile. And so that brings another dimension to our offense that's exciting. And I think he's fitting in really well and trying to earn his way into that leadership role. And as he's here longer and building those relationships with the guys. Obviously,
a lot of depth in this room. And it's going to be an older room. But has there been maybe a younger guy that's kind of stood out to you so far?
Oh, yeah, I think all of our young guys are doing a really good job. I think, you know, Kobe Keenum's come a long way at the 2 center spot. And, you know, Abbas Selm was a guy that's here in spring. And Hayes Johnson, another guy that came in spring. They've done a really good job of, first things first when you get here, is just kind of transforming your body and getting physically prepared before you can do anything else. I think they've done a really good job of buying into the weight program, the nutrition, and changing the way they're built to prepare themselves to play in the SEC.
There's so many questions surrounding this offense this year with the new faces, new OC, new offensive line coach. We already talked about Wolford, but new quarterback. Just your thoughts on, you know, what you've seen from this offense so far and what excites you about this upcoming season?
Yeah, I think it's an offense that's always on the attack. And like I said earlier, there's so many playmakers that you can't help but be excited about getting them the ball as often as possible and more opportunities for them and more opportunities to score. So it's going to be very exciting.
As an offensive guy, talk about this defense a little bit. I mean, always just big powerhouse with these guys.
Yeah, our defense has just been a model of consistency ever all 6 of my years that I've been here. The same defense, same coordinators. I mean, they're very consistent. They know their system like the back of their hands, and they play it well, very gap sound. And it's good for us to have that in practice. You know, they give us a lot of different fronts, very multiple in their coverages and their defensive fronts, their movements, and things like that. So it prepares us for anything we can see on game days.
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Well, Josh, it always seems like there's always going to be a good group at the tight end, especially when you got Merrill leading the way. Just your thoughts on this group this year?
Yeah, you know, I'm super excited. We got a lot of talent. We got an experienced player in Jordan Dingle, who I've kind of got the chance to, you know, grow up and play some serious snaps with. We got Kamari Anderson, who proved himself on the field last year. We got a good freshman in Willie Rodriguez, who's bringing a lot to the table. Super excited about him. Great kid. We got Tanner LeMaster, who's taking some big steps up. He's a big 6'6" kid and can really catch the ball. He's doing a pretty good job. And then we got Jack Monday and Justin Caddis, who are proving some stuff in camp as well. So I'm super excited about this group. I think it'll be a good year for us.
Talk about your personal growth. I mean, you named all those guys off, but
Yeah.
you getting those snaps last year, just how do you feel you've grown as a player?
Yeah, I think getting the chance to learn under some experienced players like Brennan Bates, who, just had a great game in Chicago, has really helped me. And then obviously getting developed by one of the best tight end coaches in the nation, or I should say the best tight end coach in the nation. It's great. I got a lot of experience my sophomore year, got some reps under me my freshman year. So, looking to take that next step this year and, hopefully do what I can to help our team win.
The change at offensive coordinator. Obviously, you've had a decent amount of change since you've been here. What's been? How has that change been, and how have you adjusted to Hamden's offense so far?
Yeah, it's a big change. They're 3 completely different systems, and I've gone through it in high school where I've had a few head coach changes, so it's nothing new for me. But the big thing is like we had the whole spring, the whole summer to kind of get with Coach Hamden and really learn the system, learn what he's trying to do, and I think the staff has done a great job at preparing us for this camp. And the big thing for this new system would be, we're looking at playing at a faster tempo, which is big emphasis that Coach Stoops has put upon this offensive unit. So we're just adjusting to that, and we're really getting that going right now, and I'm excited for it. I think the fans will really love it.
So there's obviously a big emphasis on getting you guys going out there this year, the tight end group. And can you just maybe talk about what to expect from you guys this year with Hamden's new offense?
Yeah, I think a little bit of everything. There's going to be a lot of shifts, a lot of motions. We're obviously going to, as we've known in the years past, we're going to have to be able to block. It's the SEC. You got to be able to run the ball, but hopefully that will set up some good play action opportunities. And I think it'll be a pretty exciting year for the tight ends. We've got some 12 personnel, some 11 personnel, so I think it'll be a pretty big feature out there.
Let's talk about this new offense as a whole. Like, I think these new faces, Brock Vandegrift, Chip Trayanum. Just what excites you about this offense?
Yeah, it's very exciting. Every year now with the transfer portal and a bunch of new freshmen coming in, you got to get adjusted with the new guys. But I think the staff has done a great job of bringing in some pieces we need to fill. Brock Vandegrift's done a great job. He's a very real competitor. He comes from a great program who's used to winning. So I hope he'll bring that confidence that he had coming from there, and he's been having a great camp so far, and we're all excited to see what he does. And the thing with Chip Trayanum, I mean, he's an extremely hard worker, can really run the rock, and I also expect some big things out of him. But I'm glad they all got here in the spring. We all got to mesh and get some snaps under our belt versus our defense and stuff. So yeah, I'm expecting big things from them.
Obviously, this one of the most talented defenses in the SEC. Can you just talk about going up against them every day in practice? That front seven, the linebacker core is something else. What has that done for y'all's progression as a tight end group as a whole?
Oh, it's done a lot. Getting to go against J.J. Weaver, we call him Pop, D-Jack, the safeties, Deion Walker. Fortunately, he has to loop to us sometimes. That's not the best, but it's been great. The only way to get better is to compete every day and to go against the best. So I think going against our defense every single day is just going to help prepare us when those hard SEC games come.
So been maybe a certain player that you like to match up on that defense the most?
Oh, J.J. Weaver. I like going against J.J. We've kind of had a little rivalry going since my freshman year. And we love it. We just get each other better every single day, and that's what it's all about. So yeah, extremely thankful for him. We've become good buddies off the field, but when we get on the field, we know it's time to compete and get each other better.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good job.
Willie, this first year at Kentucky, can you just talk about what you've seen so far? How has practice been?
Yeah, it's been really good with having two leaders in the room like Josh and Jordan Dingle, Josh Caddis and Jordan Dingle. It's been really good. Start off fall camp and practice and working out and grinding all summer. I felt really comfortable so far. I like Coach Hamden, Coach Morrow a lot. New playbook's going great, and so far it's all going very great.
Josh said it best. You have probably one of the best tight end coaches in the country. To have a guy like that kind of helping you guys out, to be with these experienced guys, how excited are you to learn from them?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely having those guys in front of me and showing me practice every day, step by step, different plays, different techniques, everything. Especially having Coach Morrow with technique-wise helps a lot also.
There's obviously a very deep tight end room and a lot of experience. Can you maybe just talk about your role in the tight end room this year?
Yes, sir. I think, we have a lot of depth. Josh, Jordan, Kamari, Tanner, Justin, and Jack also. We have definitely a deep tight end room. I think we have a lot of good skill in that tight end room. I think it's all about just playing your role in the tight end room and not being selfish. Don't play selfish ball. Coach Morrow puts a big emphasis on that, and just going out there and do what you're supposed to do and just see what happens.
Coach Morrow's been talking highly of you. Stoops even talked about you on the podium a little bit and your growth, and kind of just giving you a chance, to grow this first year. What are your expectations for this first year and the role that you might play?
Yeah, I never set the bar for myself. I always think, there's always more I can do for the team. So, I'm just gonna go out there, do what I do, and just play and learn from these older guys. Go against this defense. We have a hell of a defense this year, so go against them this year. Learn a lot from the older guys, and really just take it all in. And do what I do best. So.
How's that transition been from high school to college? You were here in the spring, right?
I was not.
Oh, you were not. Okay, just maybe this summer ball, getting into fall ball. What's that transition been like?
Yeah, it's been a smooth transition. Definitely a lot different from high school, just playbook wise. It's a lot more time in meetings with the coaches and everything. And obviously, practices are definitely turned up a little bit and workouts. So I've definitely adjusted to, and I've been good. So it's really, I'd say the playbook's the biggest thing. But I've also had great leaders in the room to help me with that, and great coaches to help me with that as well.
And you spoke about the defense, just how good they are, and just how much they've helped you guys matching up against them every day. Can you just talk about being able to match up against them, and how has that helped you and the group progress as a group?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely helps a lot when you're going against guys. Our D-line, I've already got into it with them a little bit. I practice. It's already helped me a lot. I've already got a little taste. So, we're going to grind all fall camp and go against each other. I think it'll help me a lot, excel my game, and especially my blocking in the trenches a lot, too, with those D-linemen. Also, the perimeter, we have some really, really good DBs and really fast linebackers, too, as well.
So is there a certain guy you're matching up against there that you're kind of building that rivalry with on the defense?
I don't think there's a certain guy yet. I think a few of the D linemen have it out for me right now. Because, the practice is going well though, so we'll see.
Good luck out there.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm thinking about the brawl at TBT game when I got knocked over. That's what I'm thinking about. All right, I'm ready whenever you are.
All right, can you just talk about this room? What have you seen from the guys so far, and what's your expectations for this room coming next season?
Really just hard work. I feel like we all been working really hard, working together, great relationships, That's the biggest thing, in my opinion.
How's it been with Coach Wolford?
Great. He's a great coach, great guy. He's really big on us getting to know each other and becoming bigger as a team.
Your thoughts on this offense this year? There's still so many questions surrounding it, and people are excited to see what Brock and new OC Bush Hampton's going to bring to the table. What are your thoughts with what you've seen so far?
I feel like those guys are really great. I feel like they're working hard, grinding, really keeping the playbook, make sure we know our assignments and make sure we know everything so we're ready for the season.
Well, speaking of Bush, there's obviously a lot of talk of kind of speeding the offense up this year. Is that something that you're ready for? And what have you kind of seen from that? And what's kind of maybe the differences between last year's offense and this year's offense?
We're working. I really wasn't here last year, so I don't know too much about it. But right now we're working on making it happen.
Now coming in, how does it feel, to be here at Kentucky and, being with this group?
Oh, it was great. I feel like they were very welcoming, they're very family oriented. I love that, so we're really tight.
What's it like being able to go against that front seven on that defensive side? It's arguably one of the most talented in the nation. Talk about what's that done for y'all's progression as an offensive line?
I feel like it's competition every day. I feel like we're working hard every day, It's a rep where he might get me or I might get him. I feel like that's just, what it's about, SEC.
You look at your guys' schedule. I know you don't want to look too far ahead, but a pretty tough schedule this year. You got South Carolina and Georgia at home right out the gate. So just your thoughts on it.
One day at a time.
Yeah.
One day at a time.
Well, Kentucky's big blue wall was one of the most feared in college football. It took a little bit of a lull, started getting back this past year. How excited are you to continue to build and hopefully get the big blue wall back to that real feared status?
Very excited. We're working every day, one day at a time.